Hey guys, and welcome to another video. This time I'm going to walk you through the process of upgrading Windows 10 to Windows 11 operating system, as well as fixing eventual issues you might have with this process. Before we get started, you should know that Windows 11 lifted up the minimum requirements to run it compared to Windows 10. You will need a newer CPU generation, 4GB of RAM instead of 2, 64GB of disk space compared to around 20 for Windows 10, and most importantly, you will need a TPM 2.0 compatible PC. These requirements shouldn't be a problem if your computer has been produced in the past 5 years. The process of upgrading to Windows 11 also verifies if your PC fits these requirements, so don't worry too much about them for now. Let's get started. Open up your favorite web browser and head over to the Windows installation page. You can find the link in the description. You will find 3 upgrade options. The first one, and the most popular one, is when you simply want to upgrade your already installed Windows 10 PC. This option is mainly used when you want to keep all of your applications as well as the Windows 10 license you already possess and just simply switch over from Windows 10 to Windows 11. The second option lets you create a Windows 11 installation media, a bootable USB, one that allows you to cleanly install or reinstall Windows 11 from scratch on any PC. The third option is pretty much similar to the second one, but gives you the flexibility on using the Windows 11 installation image. We'll go with the first option. Expand the Before You Begin menu and read through the requirements. Besides the hardware requirements I mentioned before, you will also have to have about 9GB of free space for downloading Windows 11 and make sure your Windows 10 version is 2004 or higher. If you're having a lower version or are running into troubles upgrading Windows 10 to a newer version, please check my other video on the Windows Update error. It will guide you through getting to a valid Windows 10 version, a version from which you can upgrade to Windows 11. Go ahead and click on the Download Now button. This will download the Windows 11 Assistant. Start it up as soon as it's downloaded. If your computer is already meeting the requirement for Windows 11, you will be greeted with a message that the installation can proceed. If that's your case, then you can skip ahead to the Windows 11 installation procedure. If you're getting the message that Windows 11 requirements are not met, then there are some additional checks and changes that we must perform before being able to install Windows 11. Luckily, Microsoft provides us with a simple tool to check the requirements. Click on the PC Health Check app and download it. Install the application and start it up. Once the application opens up, click on the Check Now button. Depending on your PC, you might get some warnings if your computer cannot install Windows 11. Most common errors are related to the missing TPM, disabled secure boot, old CPU, or insufficient RAM. I will try to provide a possible solution for bypassing these missing requirements. Let's start off with TPM. The TPM chip is a piece of security hardware that is used for providing encryption services. It has become a hard requirement for Windows 11 and you cannot proceed the installation without it. Press the Windows +R button, then type in tpm.msc. It will open up the TPM management console. If it says that the compatible TPM cannot be found, your TPM might be simply disabled in BIOS. So let's check if we can enable it. Restart your PC and as soon as it starts booting up, access the BIOS. This is usually done by continuously pressing F2, Delete, F10 or F1 buttons. Once you access the BIOS, activate the Advanced mode if you don't have it active already. Each BIOS looks different. Usually the TPM option can be found under the Advanced or Security tabs. If you cannot find it, please check my other video specifically made on how to enable TPM and Secure Boot, including screenshots from various BIOS versions. In my particular case, I moved over to the Advanced, went over to the PCH firmware configuration and selected Firmware TPM. Same as for the TPM, you might also need to enable Secure Boot. This option usually resides under Boot page or Security page. As said before, if you cannot find a way to enable it, do watch my other video on how to do this operation. As soon as you're finished with the BIOS, move over to the Exit tab and select Save and Exit. Boot back into the OS and let's check to see if OS sees your TPM as active. Press the Windows +R buttons, then type again tpm.msc. You should now see a screen where it says TPM is available and ready. Also, the TPM specification should read 2.0. If it reads specification 1.2, installation is still possible with some hacks. Microsoft have provided a way to bypass the TPM and CPU compatibility check, but it still requires a TPM 1.2 compatible system. Here is how to do it. Press the Windows plus R buttons and type in regedit. In the registry editor, expand the H key local machine, System, Setup, and select MO Setup. Right-click on the right pane and select New dword value. A new key will be created. Give this key the name AllowUpgradesWithUnsupportedTPMOrCPU. I think it's better when you copy-paste the name from the video description. Once this key is created, double-click on it and set its value to 1. You can now close the registry editor and check if the Windows installation can be started on your PC by starting up the PC Health Check application again. If at this point there are still some requirements that are not met, you are left with 3 options. First is to keep the Windows 10 installation as it is. Windows 10 is stable and will be supported by Microsoft for at least 3 more years. The second option is to force the installation of Windows 11 without fulfilling these requirements. This can only be done through applying some more hacks while performing a clean installation of Windows 11. Of course, Microsoft strongly advises you against such an installation. Check my other video on how to perform a clean Windows 11 installation for more details. The last option is to purchase a new PC. TPM cannot be upgraded on existing PCs, and since this is the most common missing requirement, the only option left is a new PC. Moving on with the installation. Open up the installation assistant and hit Accept and Install button. This will start the process of downloading, verifying, and installing Windows 11. This process took about 30 minutes on my PC, but it's highly dependent on your internet speed and PC specifications. When the first part of the installation finishes, restart your PC. Additional updates and reboots will be performed until the PC finally reaches the OS. Once it does, you should be good to go. Windows 11 is now installed on your computer. If this video was helpful for you, don't forget to subscribe and like it. If you're running into trouble while installing Windows 11, leave a comment down below, and as always, I will try to help you out with your situation. Have fun!